What is up, everyone? This is the Poke Pianist. My name is Ryan. I'm a vendor and collector, and I play piano at card shows. Today is a very different video, very special video, because I am doing my first ever PSA submission reveal here on YouTube. And this will be different from other PSA submission videos you guys have probably seen before, because I want this to be a little bit more educational. So I have a spreadsheet of gem rates. I have a spreadsheet of, on a different screen, of all the imperfections I saw on every single card, if I saw any, before I actually sent it to PSA. And I also have a couple of sample cards that I can use, some raw samples, to teach you guys why I didn't send those cards and why I sent these cards. So, I hope you guys will enjoy. Let's get to it. Now, another thing that's unique about this video is I am actually showing you guys the easiest cards to get a PSA 10 first. And the hardest cards to get PSA 10s is at the very bottom. So we're going from easiest to hardest, basically. So if I don't get a PSA 10 on the first card, we're in trouble, guys. So I have looked at all the grades already. I reviewed it with some friends. So it kind of helps me prepare ahead of time so I can teach you guys what went into me deciding whether I should send it to PSA or not. So let's get started. I'm going to use my Piano Ryan sticker to hide the grade. Hopefully I don't accidentally show it. The first card is the Japanese Pikachu Illustration Contest 2024. I don't know how you obtain this in Japan, but I know in the US, Pokemon Center threw this in your box if you ever bought an item from Pokemon Center, and they did it 2 times so far for a couple days. So, all right. What did I write for this one? So this card has a population of 20,000 and this card has a PSA 10 population of 20,000 and the total population grade is 23,000, which results in a gem rate of 90%. All right, so let's see if we can get a 10. I compared a couple copies before I chose this one. I thought this one had the best centering, and I, to be honest, didn't see anything wrong with it. So I'm hoping for a PSA 10. 1, 2, 3, and it did get a 10. So we're gonna start a PSA 10 pile here. All right, so far so good. Off to a great start. Our second card is Misty's Psyduck, also in Japanese. This card has an 85% chance of getting a PSA 10. Now, Japanese cards typically have really good print, meaning there's no white corners like you typically see on English cards. And you really just have to look for good centering and no scratches on the hollow. So let's see if we got a PSA 10. I did not write any notes for this because I believe this was a PSA 10, an easy one. So 3, 2, 1, easy. All right. All right, we're doing good. We're doing good so far. All right, next card. The next card is, ooh, okay. So I love this card. I have this in my PC as well. I love grading this card because I've actually graded 4 of these in a PSA 10 before. So this is my 5th one. The market on this card exploded, actually. It used to be like an $80 card, but I bought this for like $120. Ooh. All right, so this card has a 76% gem rate. It is 13,000. So there's 13,000 PSA 10s out of 17,000 graded. All right, let's see if we can get a PSA 10. Nice. Okay, so let's dive into this one a little bit. I actually have a raw copy of this card. Now, the reason why I didn't send this one for grading is because of this left edge here. It's really thick on the left, if you guys can see, and it's really thin on the right here. Now, this one is rather symmetrical on both sides. I did look a little closer. There are some print lines going vertically downwards, but from my experience, I don't think PSA dings any points off print lines. So I did get a PSA 10. I did also compare it to two other 10s that I have still. And these have very good centering on the borders on the bottom. Now you're probably wondering, wait, how about the borders on the top? Well, there is no visible border, so I pretty much ignore all this for these types of alt art cards. And you can find this type of bordering on a lot of older cards as well. So yeah, another PSA 10. Super happy. I've kind of been hoarding these cards. I love Rayquaza. Big Rayquaza fan. So, oops, awesome. All right. Next on the list, we have Blaziken V. Ooh, oh, wait. You guys can see that. Sorry, I forgot my sticker. My bad. Okay, so this is Blaziken V alt art from, I believe this is, yeah, Silver Tempest. Okay, this card, I actually believe that it was a PSA 10. I didn't write any notes about it. Had good centering on the back. No whites. Good centering on the front. And 3, 2, 1. PSA 10! Cool. Alright, so funny enough, I had 2. Okay, so same thing. I did think one of these 2 was a little thicker on the bottom edge. Which one was it? I believe it was this first one. So I actually thought this one was even better. Okay, in terms of centering. So ready, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Okay, so I personally thought both these were within the threshold of the front centering. So PSA requires that the front is 45-55. And even though this one, I don't know if you guys can tell, maybe if I make it horizontal like this, and then I kind of move the card up to the top, you guys can see this this bottom edge should be thicker than this one. But I don't think it was far enough to become a PSA 9. So yeah, I hope you guys can take something away from that. So we just have straight PSA 10s. All right, so can we get all 10s? Can we get all 10s? All right. So the Blaziken, by the way, had a 68% gem rate. And this next card has a 65% gem rate. Now, this card was really interesting because I did write a couple flaws. If you guys can see in the camera, there is actually a pink circle right there. It's really obvious once you see it. And I notice a lot of older cards have that pink circle appear sometimes. Pretty rarely, but I was really curious if this would get a PSA 10. And there's also a white dot on the surface. It's above the P. You guys can see it. So I was a little worried about this one. So let's see. This is Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno, Tag Team, Birds, Rainbow. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. I got a 10. All right, so this was kind of my trial run for prints like that with the pink and the white dot. So if there's something I can teach you guys about grading, is you just have to try it yourself. Sometimes you learn through experimentation, and of course experience too. And sometimes I'm like, you know, I'm gonna send this. It looks really good, but then there's this happening with it. I'm gonna send and see what happens. And then once I get the result, I'll take note of it. And that's how I get better at grading. All right, so let's move on to the next one. This next card is the Entei V from Crown Zenith. This card has a 63% gem rate. So we're going down. We're going down. We start at 90% gem rate now. We're going all the way down to 63%. All right, so Entei V, what did I write? I actually wrote everything was good except I saw a smudge on the top back. Now I can't really see it in the slab anymore. I think it's more apparent raw, but I do notice sometimes when you look at the back of cards, there's like kind of a black smudge, and it's not dirt. It's usually caused by the printers, and I was always curious if they would lower the grade down just because of it. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. I like how I counted 1, 2, 3 this time. But yeah, it got a PSA 10. So I guess the smudges don't really matter too much. I mean, it was only like a little circle from what I remember. I can't really see it. I think it's right there actually. It's really hard to tell. But it looks like it's moisture, or it's not moisture, but it looks like it. But it looks like that passed. So I guess one smudge from printing is okay for this card. All right, next card. Whew. Okay, this is a beautiful card. Now, I honestly thought this was really, really good. Like, I was considering taking it to Beckett, but I didn't. I do have a raw copy right here that does not have as great of centering. If you guys can see, the bottom of this one is a lot thicker on the silver border than the slabbed one, and it's also quite thin on the top compared to the slabbed one. So I did think this one was better. This is actually my personal copy. All right, let's see if it got a PSA 10. This has a 58% gem rate. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Very nice, very beautiful. All right. So I was gonna put PSA 9s here, but we have none so far. All right, we're gonna keep going. The next card is Pikachu from Crown Zenith. Now this card I've graded before in a PSA 10, and honestly the card I graded before looked better centering than this one. But there was no white corners. No white corners. I did put it that it had one of those print smudges as well. I'm not gonna try to find it, but there was one. Yeah, I just thought it wasn't super centered. It's a little top heavy, maybe even a little tilted. So I was curious if this would get a 10, even though it's such a clean card, no whites at all. And it's really clean. All right, so ready? 3, 2, 1. Ah, unfortunately, we did get a PSA 9. Now, the reason why I think this got a PSA 9 is because it is a little top heavy. And yeah, it's top heavy on here, and it's also left heavy. And honestly, the image is a little tilted. It's like you see how this is straight on these slabs, but I feel the image is a little tilted in this direction or this direction. Can't really tell. But for sure on the back, it's more obvious. It's definitely tilted in this direction. So if you can tell, it's really thin on the left and it's super thick here. It's like it kicks over to the left side here. So I guess PSA does not like that. I've actually graded a Palkia V-Star from Crown Zenith, the gold one. That was also tilted and also got a 9. So I guess tilted cards are a no-go for PSA. So again, that's a learning experience for me, right? And you only learn this by doing research, watching videos like this, or grading yourself. Okay, that Pikachu had a 55% gem rate, by the way. Sorry, I keep on forgetting to say the gem rate. Okay, this is a big card, guys. This has a 46% gem rate. Now, this is an old card. This is 2016. It's pretty low pop, actually. There is only 1,100 in a PSA 10 and close to 3,000 graded. So there aren't a lot of these out there in the world, guys. There's millions of collectors, and only 1,000 of these are in a PSA 10. Now, I have graded this card before, and I honestly thought the card I sent in before was also cleaner than this. So I'm expecting a PSA 9. I just thought that there's just too many print lines on the back, and I saw some micro scratches that might have been considered print lines, or maybe someone did it. I think this card was sold to us at my booth at the card shows. So I was hoping this would get a 9. All right, let's reveal it. Ready? By the way, this is the most expensive card in a PSA 10 at $600. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and it got a 10. It got a 10, guys. Out of the whole stack, I was most impressed with this card because I was actually expecting a 9 or even an 8. But, I mean, there's no white dots on the corners on the back. I was worried about the centering because there's so much going on. You can kind of see the border on the left here. It's thicker than this one. But I guess it was okay with PSA. You can't really compare this border to this one because you can't see the border due to the art. But I thought that left would have been a little too thick. And I don't know if you guys can see the print lines, but there's a lot. There's a lot of horizontal ones. And I can't really notice the mini scratches that I thought were, you know, done by humans, but I guess I can't tell anymore unless I get like a magnifying glass. But this was really surprising to get in a PSA 10. So huge upside there. Let's go. I mean, this card is like $80 raw. So I'm also just surprised I didn't get upcharged for that one. So thanks, GameStop. Okay, so I would say now we're getting to the pretty low gem rates. And the first card, oh man, illustration rares from Scarlet and Violet are pretty tough to gem mint. Okay, now this Typhlosion is pretty low gem rate. It's 28%. So there's only 2.8 thousand in a 10 out of 10k graded. So let's see what it got. 3, 2, 1. Okay. I was a little sad because it got a 9, unfortunately. Okay, I'll explain. I'll talk about this card. So this is our first PSA. Wait, our second PSA 9. Sorry. So I'm gonna talk about this card in a second because I actually do have. Oops. I actually do have another one. Okay, so let's reveal this one really quick. So I sent in 2, hoping one would get a 10. So ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I actually got a PSA 10 on this one, and I didn't on this one. Now, I looked a lot closer to it. I did think one was better centering than the other. I want you guys to guess which one has better centering. Here, which one has better centering? Give you guys a couple seconds to think about it. Let's see if you get it right. All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I thought this one had better centering. Oh, I guess you guys know the grade, so duh, but I'm silly. All right. Well, anyway, so where was the centering error? This one is top heavy for sure. And this one is very thin on the bottom, but this one was really even top to bottom and left to right. And also this one, I did notice there's a little speck of white right there on the edge. You can see it. And then this one had some white on the edges, but very minuscule. Right there. And if you look really closely, it's just kind of shaving off a little bit, but if you look at it from a good distance, you just see blue. So PSA specifically says on their website that they care a lot about eye peel, and I just don't see any white from far away. It is off center on the back, but the centering on the back has a lot more leeway. I believe it's 70-30, which is actually a lot of room for error. So it is quite left heavy. You see how this is thicker on the left and it's thinner on the right, but on the back they will allow it. If this was the centering on the front, oh yeah, that you would get a 9 for sure. So yeah, I'm very happy I got one of these in a 10. Yeah, really low gem rate. So this goes in a 9 pile. This will go in a 10 pile. Okay, this card also has the same percentage gem rate. It's about 28%. This is from the same set, Destined Rivals. This is the Cynthia's Rose Raid. Illustrations are just hard to grade in general, so they have similar gem rates. Usually around, I would say less than 35% for a lot of them in the Scarlet and Violet era. So this Cynthia's Roserade, I wrote that there's silvering on the right, and the back has 2 light whites on the corners. So the silvering, I don't know if you guys can see, but it doesn't really show very well because PSA has like this little edge right here that covers the sides. But if you reflect it, you can see some. it kind of shines. It's like it's almost like you can see the hollow foil under this layer. And I guess there's some white. Let me find it. Yeah, it's really small, like really, really small speck of white on this corner. Really, really small. All right, let's see what I got. Ready? 3, 2, 1. It got a PSA 10. Okay, yeah. So super low gem rate. There's only about 1,000 graded in a PSA 10. There's 1,400 in a PSA 10 out of 4,800. So I actually have, we're gonna go back. Again, this is supposed to be a learning experience, right? I'm gonna go back to these 3 because I do have some copies here. So I'm gonna show you guys. Now this one, look at this is so thick on the left. A card like this, I wouldn't even look at the back. I don't even care if there's any white. Is there any white? Yeah, there's like a little white dot here on the bottom right. But honestly, if the centering was this bad, I won't even look at the back. For the Cynthia's Rose Ray, this one is really bottom heavy. So immediately I would even check the back. But just for educational purposes, sometimes I see this type of corner on the backs of cards. I call this a crack, and cracks don't do very well for PSA. And this one is like a light white dot. I think those together with the bottom heaviness is what kind of kills it. And I do have one more copy here. Yeah, this one's really left heavy. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, and there's that. See that that edge right there? Yeah, that will not slide at PSA to get a PSA 10. So those are just some really bad copies, and these were a lot cleaner. Let's look at it one more time. Yeah, the edges are really blue. If there's any white, it's so tiny. It's so tiny. And the centering's great on this. So yeah, really low gem rates. So let's go. Okay, we have 2 cards left. 2 cards left. So this next card is the Lost Origin Pikachu that I thought about PCing actually. This card wasn't perfect as well. I did see at the top left there's a little bit of white. Can you guys see it? But it wasn't too bad. It wasn't a crack, like a cracked white. It's just a very light white. And at the bottom of this corner, there's like almost a white. It's like a longer white line on the edge that kind of seeps onto the surface. The centering is really good though. So let's see what I got. 3, 2. Wait, sorry. Whoa. This has a 25% gem rate, so really, really low. So before I reveal the grade, keep in mind it has a 25% gem rate, which means 1 in 4 cards get a 10. And these are people who send to PSA thinking they, it should get a 10. You know what I mean? So that means most people are wrong. And 3, 2, 1, and I'm one of those people. All right, so I think maybe those 2 white dots was too much for PSA. Unfortunate, because I really like this card. I do have another copy. I'll show you guys. And I thought this was a little worse, which is why I kept it in my binder. The front is great, to be honest. But the back, there's a white dot on the bottom right. There's also a white dot on the top left. And there's some edge folding here, so I think those 3 combined. I didn't want to send this copy, even though I think I was probably a little biased in sending this copy, and it just happens, just because I think this was the best copy I've seen all year, and I've been checking this card all year, and this still wasn't good enough. So yeah, I got burned with the 25% gem rate, unfortunately. Okay, I do have one more card, and this is the hardest card to grade in the whole pile, with a whopping 20% gem rate. Out of 1,700 PSA 10s, there's only 1700 PSA 10s out of 8500 graded. This is the Golden Pikachu from Prismatic Evolutions. And funny enough, I do have this in my PC. This is actually one of the first cards I pulled this year. Check out my previous video of my personal collection showcase. This one's actually signed by Veronica Taylor. And I was expecting a 9 on this one because of the centering. So this copy was centered so well, and the back surprisingly had no white dots. It was really clean. I did think this would get a 10, but I was a little worried just because the gem rate's so low. And prismatic cards tend to have kind of bad print. So let's do it. Last card. Can we do it with a 20% gem rate? 3, 2, 1. And we can! Holy! Yeah, I thought this was a super clean card, surprisingly. Maybe it's like a newer print. But if we compare it to this one is super thin on the left. So it's kind of tilted, like we talked about with the Crown Zenith Pikachu. And it's super thick on the right. And also these corners had, I remember just like 2 white dots on these corners. I think it was this one. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, no. The bottom left corner had a cracked white there. And then this top right corner had just like a light white dot. So I didn't think this would get a 10. But this did, and this is a $300 card. So, alright, that completes the PSA submission. I hope you guys learned a thing or two about grading. This is how I approach grading. I'm very methodical, and I write down all my findings, and I learn with each and every submission what I should be sending, what I shouldn't be sending, what flies by with PSA, like print lines tend to go by, what doesn't fly by with PSA, like tilted cards or more than 2 white dots. So that's pretty awesome. This is about what I expected going into this. I did the one that was most unexpected actually was maybe I expected one of these two to get a 9, and this I really thought was a strong 9, but it got a 10. That was the most unexpected card. Other than that, I was pretty confident the rest of these cards would get a 10. That's just because I've sent like, I don't know, 75 cards to PSA at this point, close to 100. So, all right. So out of the 15 cards, 12 got a PSA 10. So not bad. All right. I know it's been a long video, but I hope you guys learned a thing or two. This is the Piano Ryan. What? This is the Poke Pianist. Sorry, it's been a long day, guys. The Piano Ryan's my other name. This is the Poke Pianist signing out. I actually got a card show tomorrow, Sin City Card Show in Las Vegas, and I gotta price these cards out now. So, thank you guys. Hope you guys are excited for the next video. It'll probably be a vendor POV. Appreciate you guys, all the support. Don't forget to comment what you think, if you learned anything. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.